Here I am, Leon C, aka Morpheus, and you are in the Academy of Wow Men. In this message today, I'm going to make some clarity on something that a lot of us are and is quite aware of. We're not children anymore. We are supposedly adults. At least I expect for us to be adults. But unfortunately, oftentimes we just simply do not correlate our maturity to reality. And I bring this to you based on not only experience, but an emailer who explained this to me, that that he's dealing with several women, I call them girls, who are lopsided in their thinking, so they're making him out to be something that he's not. So basically it's a bad rumor that they're throwing out with this gentleman. Not gonna say his name for the sake of obscurity and privacy. But I will say this about rumors of all kinds that you're going to have to comprehend. On a general basics, the common psychology of a common human being, definitely the way that we are raised today in our backwards thinking, is that we always have to have a common enemy in order to move forward in groups. Oftentimes that's the measure. If you see a group of people or a cult is just short for culture, or a cultivated circle of people who are religiously committed to a cause. That doesn't mean they're religious to a spirituality, to a indoctrination. You know, religion can be a part of many things. You're religious about how you eat, how you work out, however the case may be. This is why I always say religious indoctrination. That's different. Now you're talking about the indoctrination of documented, people who go by documents, false documents, mythical thinking, books, archaic traditional idealism. So it transforms to be, as you would think of, religious indoctrination. However, the enemies on the usual basis in the gossip circle or rumor circle aren't usually there to defend themselves, and oftentimes it's just an evil rumor. It's just, like I was explaining to my emailer, it's just an evil rumor. It's going to be evil. Get over it. It's going to be evil more than half of the time, because there's more than half of people who are self-thinkers, who are diligent in understanding that they don't know the full facts. They don't know the full story. They don't know, and they haven't been there, and probably isn't going to be there. They just go by hearsay, he say, she say, which is common in certain circles, and definitely when it comes to immaturity. Some people love a juicy gossip. Some people love negative conversations. Some people love to hear something bad happening to someone else. It's funny when it's happening to someone else, but when it's happening to them, it's a different story. Get a group of people to stand around and talk about one person or two people. It's easy. But let them share the equal burden, then all bets are off the table. So let's get it in our mind that when you begin to realize that rumors are usually going to be bad, you begin to understand the species and the nature of the species, that most people love negativity. They love drama. They love virtually and mentally rubbernecking on other people's business. So in order to help my emailer out, Those were the specific things that I told him, which gave him a little bit of ease, because it don't matter who the person is. There's going to be a group of people who's going to gossip about you because, and here it is, they don't have a life. When you get a group of people who love gossiping, they don't have a life. And when they take the rumors for face value, and they usually will, okay, they still don't have a life. And this actually equates and it actually relates as well to why there are some people who are serious about their reputation, where people will sue you, take you to court. They will fight you over you talking bad about them, depending on what that rumor is. You know, you make them seem like they are something that they are not. And so you owe them an apology. You owe them an open display of, I'm sorry for talking bad about you, but I wasn't present with you. Depends on how much the measure is, because oftentimes it can be a very viral thing unnecessarily, where that rumor is just nothing but poison in the atmosphere, especially given the fact that a lot of people, they love to be doused in that rumor or in rumor itself. So it goes to show that it will have some sort of negative effect when it comes to negative people. So should you encounter that situation, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind that most times it's from people who are practically mindless. Those who they don't really have a life themselves. They can't talk about themselves, so they really talk about someone else. And I'm not talking about negativity. I'm talking about things that really matter. Now, when you use someone for an example, that's a different story. Okay? When you're talking about someone who's famous, sometimes you're using it for an example, which is fine. I should know this. I'm your professor in this Academy of WAP. I use examples all the time. Okay? Examples is a fair thing. You know, any sort of person can become an example, and historian or any other person that you know of in your school books. Okay? But this is not what I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about using this as a lesson. I'm talking about those who just love to gossip for no reason at all. They will take what someone else said and they don't do their research. And they will circle around those who love to whisper and cackle on those innocent people. And what makes them innocent is the fact that they're not there to defend themselves. Now, if they're there and they're explaining the situation, or it's obvious, or they admit, or whatever the situation may be, that's a different story. But when they're not there, most likely there's going to be people around you who's going to actually be interested in the juicy gossip. Okay, so for my emailer, he's going to get this anyway, no brainer, and I've told him about this anyway. It's an obvious thing. That's the answer. Oh, you can't worry too much about people hawking at your name or your image and giving you a bad reputation, because those are people that are lesser than you. And if I recall, I've taught you this before in third grade, in third class, that small-minded people talk about people. Small-minded people talk about people, degrade them, gossip at them, backbite them, okay, whisper about them, but they don't ask questions. They're not there with that person. They're not there to support the person. You know, they're not there in that person's life. They don't know anything about them, but they talk about them. So that's a small-minded person. So therefore, you know those people that are around you, they're small-minded. Average-minded people, here's the medium level, average, meaning common people, discuss events. So here you go with that. You may not talk about a person, but they'll talk about what happened on the news. They'll talk about whatever's going on in the world. They talk about events. They talk about things. They're just an average mind. Just average. Just this common person who, this happened yesterday. The train derailed over here. Just average, medium. Okay? A good-minded individual, a unique individual, one who is above that, one who is able to become their own leader and stand above the BS, is a person who discusses solutions. A solution. Okay, so therefore, when you are around people who gossip and talk dumb stuff and stupid and retard, biting their tail like a dog, running around in a circle, put some peanut butter on the dog's tail, and the dog is chasing its own tail, those type of people, okay, oftentimes they're not talking about a solution. They're not talking about apologizing to the person. They're not talking about figuring out. They're not talking about sitting there and asking. They're not talking about, it don't matter. Thinking like this, it don't matter about what the event is. What's the solution to prevent it from happening again? Or what's the solution to make sure that I don't end up in that situation, or whatever it might be, solution wise. It's more or less, well, that happened to them. Yeah, I can't believe it. Woo, that's just crazy. That's just crazy. And you just sitting there and you entertained by foolishness. So when you know that rule that I have made, okay, it should help you. Now, getting on to the next one, another email asked me about something that's not really a serious topic, but about some of the cars that they see. And the cars they're talking about was cars that are put on very big wheels. These old-fashioned cars are just cars that aren't really up to date, but just these cars that on wheels that are bigger than the car. And he wanted to know if that's going to damage the car, if it's going to make it faster, and what's the point of it? Well, you're talking to Morpheus, okay? And sometimes I can rub people wrong because I'm out of the matrix, and they may think I'm out of my mind. Because there are a lot of people who don't agree because they're in a small-minded circle of their own, okay? Because they're usually doing themselves, and I don't mean to rub people wrong. It's just truth hurts, and it's just the way it is. Like surgery. Sometimes surgery don't feel good. That's why they got to put you to sleep or put you under for a little while. Give you some pain pills because some stuff got to be cut off of you. But if you are aware, you're listening, you're awake, and you don't want to get healed, it's going to hurt. It's almost like trying to pull a blister out of your finger or your arm or whatever else where it's at. Okay? Don't feel good. Go to the gym, you pumping iron or weights. It don't feel good. You end up sore 2 days later. So pain is a form of healing. It's a form of advancing yourself, and a lot of people don't want to face the pain. So one thing that I would tell you without holding back, I would tell you this, okay, in my own language, it's stupid. And I'm going to back it up why I mean that it's stupid. Okay, as a mechanic myself, as a car enthusiast myself, it's not going to make the car go faster. Over time, you are going to have some suspension problems, and the car is not made for wheels that are that big. Even if you modify it, you add the lifters and things of that nature. Now, some trucks are made for that because they have a higher and wider wheelbase, and their suspension is modifiable that way. And the truck is used to having bigger wheels anyway, and a lot of manufacturers make it that way where you can optimize it should you choose to. Now, for automobile, it's what my friend was telling me about. Otherwise, he would not have said anything. If it's a truck, it's a no-brainer. You'd be like, duh, trucks got big wheels. Who's stupid enough not to understand that? But on a car, it's laughable. All I can think of is clown. Dude, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. And the ride is hard. It's hard. It's not an easy ride. You're going to be driving down the road, and everything's going to be rattling. The car is a hard bounce because now it may be a bigger wheel, but especially with the thin tire, you're actually going to be interfacing with the ground a little bit more closer than what you need to. Okay, so you end up spending more money in the repairs and repairing the wheel of the car, which is the rim, as some people call it, than you will be driving. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people on the side of the road with flashy, expensive, larger than life wheels that the manufacturer never recommended, and they're trying to change their tire. And it's the most laughable thing that I ever imagined. It's laughable and it's silly. But here's what makes it silly. Because you're thinking, oh, Morpheus is offending people. No, check this out. No. Let me do the math for you. And those who are logical will comprehend. If you're not logical, go back to school. That's your problem, not mine. I speak the truth here. Okay. Functionality is the most important thing you can get out of life. That means what is the use of what you are doing? And while you are worried about the use of it, you are saving money at the same time. When you put in extra wheels, paint job, and in a certain degree, stereo system, you can add a better stereo system in your car, but it doesn't have to be something that's going to make you deaf in a matter of 2 months. That means you're going above and beyond. Modesty is important. But here's the point, is money that you have to invest in that. That's the key. Money that can be spent on something else. Money that can be spent on children. Money that can be spent on making more schools. Gooder, better schools. Money that can be invested in the stock market. Money that can be turning the world upside down. Money that can be put in the hands of a poor person or somebody who's starving. But yeah, you take that money and get a large pair of wheels to make you drive down the road on Stagecoach, like you back in, I don't know when they start making the Stagecoach vehicles. But back in the old days, the prairie days, like Little House on the Prairie, you driving this car and you're like, it's like you riding on a stagecoach and you look good. OK, now, I know what you think, Morpheus is dousing people. Oh, you talking about me, homie? You talking about me, homie? No, check this out. You have a decision what you want to do. It's your opinion, how you dress your car, and it's your business. Did I just say it's not your business? No, I didn't. Did I say that people should not do that? Okay. No, I didn't. I said it's your choice to do so. But while you're doing so, there are consequences behind worrying about the cosmetics of whatever that you are doing in your life, because that money will be better spent on something else, in my opinion. But it depends on what you value. And because you value dressing up something like that, that's going to be a constant muddy pit, okay, is your choice, but there's consequences behind it. I wouldn't recommend it. I'm not saying don't do it. I would not recommend it, but it's based on your choice. It's not going to do the car any justice because the manufacturer, they modify the car to a certain degree. You can modify things on your vehicle to make it go faster a little bit, or to help its performance, especially around the corner. But you can also go above and beyond. You can also do too much to the car where it becomes overbearing. It becomes a stress to the frame, a stress to the transmission, definitely the transmission, a stress to the wheel. Whereas when your wheels are so big like that, you hit a curve, you're done for. I know a gentleman who was fresh to the car industry. What that means is he had a little extra cash. And so he looked at a couple of movies on TV, as most of them do, and thought it was cool, like he was in California or something like that, in the Sunshine State, just, cruising around. He said, you know what, I'm going to rent these wheels out. I'm going to put them on my car because I see everybody doing it. And it's just the greatest thing in the world. This is an interesting thing, right? And I kid you not, it seemed like every few weeks he would crack the rim. He'd bend the rim. And you would think that he was hitting curves. No, he was simply driving. And the way that the roads are, okay, they have some loops, they have some cracks, they have some edges that aren't going to be particularly straight. And the weight of the car is based on how thick your tires are. Geniuses. It depends on how thick your tires are. So the thinner your tire, the more trouble you're going to have. Tires are like that, made for sports cars that are manufacturally engineered and suspension engineered to be lowered to the ground for speed and precision. Not for a luxury sedan, an SUV, or a muscle car. okay, on a general basis. They got wheels and tires for muscle cars, okay, but it's not going to be so thin where it's going to constantly crack and break your tire or your wheel. So if you want my opinion, okay, you'll be saving money. I'll put it like that. If you want my opinion, keep things modest, follow recommendations, and don't go above and beyond. And I would not recommend putting tires like that that's bigger than you can literally walk underneath the car. Okay, you're asking for trouble. You're asking for trouble. And a lot of people who want to argue the matter of fact, I know several guys who have done that. Several mechanics themselves, before they got into the mechanic industry, when they started doing that, they began to realize they've been spending thousands upon thousands of dollars just to make their car look good. That's what makes the stupid part about it. That's why I say stupid. You might as well take a bucket of money that you spend it and throw it outside and say, here you go, world, because that's what you're doing on a constant basis. Well, I got insurance on my wheels. Yeah. You know what? Time is also money. So the time you're spending on the side of the road with a cracked wheel, you could be heading to work, wherever you're going, picking up your child or doing whatever else that you're doing that day. But you're spending an hour and a half or something like that waiting on a tow truck or for somebody to give you a spare tire, which is very senseless. It's senseless. Not to mention the wintertime. You can't drive it in the winter. So what do you got to do? You got to put it in the shop. You got to take off these stagecoach wheels. And you gotta, put the original wheels back on her so you can drive in the snow. And you got time and energy to do that. I don't see a lot of older men doing that. And I'm just telling you from experience, and I'm telling you from real life. I don't see a lot of mature older men doing that. What mature older men would do, they will go get a sports luxury sedan, which already comes with a premium package that is manufacturer specific wheels that are already at a low profile that can help them with the performance, and it might already be polished and chromed. And what the older guy would do is just maintain the car, and he's cruising. He's good. It's only the younger, it's only the other guys who are looking at these wheel magazines. They go to the store, see these flashy magazines, colorful wheels, big wheels, low riders, something like that, who have not too much experienced everything. See, that's what's right there is probably what make a lot of people uncomfortable. And I'm not trying to. You got to understand, I'm only telling you facts. If you don't like it, you're doing it. If a doctor's telling you, you're eating a certain food that's making you sick, why get mad at the doctor by saying, well, I like it because it tastes sweet. This is what I like anyway. Don't get mad at the doctor. He's only telling you facts. You got to look at it for yourself and be responsible. Say, yeah, if that happens, yeah, I got the money, I can do it. I got money to do it. So I'm going to do it anyway. Okay. But don't get mad at the doctor because he's telling you the facts. A lot of people do that. That's another form of cognitive dissonance and mindlessness, where you poison yourself. And if somebody realizes that you got poison in your hand, why would you get mad at them for making you aware of it? But obviously you are aware of it, but you want to be ignorant of it at the same time and then get mad at them. That's called stupidity. Okay, so it's nothing but raw facts. It's not functional. It's not functionality. It's cosmetics. And cosmetics cost money. And when you adjust your life like that, you end up realizing that it's a waste of time. Older men don't waste their time like that. It's the more immature men who got money to burn and throw out the window, who's willing to waste their time and energy trying to flash like that, trying to prove something to the world, trying to prove to people who they are by driving by being a stagecoach driver. Okay, so that is the answer, emailer, and your initials is JD. JD, that's it. Don't just. If you want my personal opinion and if you want to accept it, I would tell you walk away from it and stay with the recommendations. Don't be silly like that. It's all about cosmetics. OK, functionality is important because you're going to hit the point in your life where you're going to separate vanity from what makes sense. And when you begin to get away from things that, oh, it's just about flash, I want to prove myself to people, I'm better than you. Oh, look at me. Look what I got. Look at my 18-inch speakers that's going to make me deaf when I'm 54. Why I can't hear nothing. You'll begin to realize that it was dumb and nonsense. It was senseless. So you end up selling that stuff, getting rid of it, however else, and finding out that you wasted a lot of your time, wasted a lot of your money. Just be frugal, be modest, and realize that there are limits to the things that you should and should not do. Just because you can, don't mean you should do it. Just because just because you can put snowboarding wheels on your car and it looks good to it, don't mean you need to put it on there. It's just that senseless and silly. You gotta know how to separate what's important, what isn't important. It's not important if it's not going to get you from point A to point Z, and it's just something that's just to look good. That's when if it's a show car, that's a different story. A lot of people do things for show. Like there's some girls who they call them show girls. OK, and you don't see a lot of showgirls often on the road or the street or wherever yet you are, but where you will see them at is probably, Broadway or, acting or up on a stage or poetry or, even in some places you may see them, online. OK, you may see them in PRN. OK, they're dressed up. They dress to impress. They dress to where you won't recognize the real them. They laid out with cosmetics, but of course, they use that to, to get around, which to them is a necessity. But the point about that is it's still a point of vanity, and it's not the real functionality. The true functionality is the internal mechanism that I'm getting ready to discuss with you now. I'm going to get right into the program, and that's going to actually lead us to this audio of why I decided to bring this attention to you. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and let that email go. Okay, and let's get on to the service. Now, I just got to telling you about the showing, the negative, the outside corporeal mindlessness of something that is insignificant to the matter at hand. Okay, according to the subject that you are reading, as far as the title here, women have been woefully deceived by several people in her life that I have discussed in several of my audios, and it's sickening. I've spoken to several gentlemen, and we talked about the quality of the American woman. The quality of an American woman. And there was something that they were talking about that was left out. And I kept it to myself and decided to make an audio on this because we was talking about how they could bring value home to the man. And a lot of them are concerned about, generally on a typical basis, about what men are after. And they are deceived to think that most men are after their donkey. But it's not their fault on a general basis, because daddy lies to her. Yes, I'm gonna say you lied to her. Mommy lies to her. Yep, I'm stepping on toes today. Too bad, get over it. But this is real life. I'm gonna tell you why I can back it up like that. Okay. And blue pill betas continuously put her on that place, on that point. Continuously make her think this way. And here's your example. And I'm not going to say that this happened. It didn't. I'm only giving an example. I'm making up a story here. This is a story I'm making up. I go into a grocery store, and I see this pretty thing. She's looking like everything I need her to be. She's dressed somewhat modest. She's minding her own business. She's trying to, get something from the frozen meat aisle. And I would hope that it would be me that she's getting from the frozen meat aisle, but not frozen. However, offering the meat, I walk over to her, right? And And I do my cold approaching. I cold approach. Right, you know, how you doing? You know, yeah, my name is so. Oh, you're all by yourself. You know, where's your boyfriend? What's going on? Oh, I don't have a boyfriend. Like, oh, okay, you know, cool. You know, so can we hang out and you know, what's up? You know, can we exchange numbers and talk outside of here? You know, what you do on the weekend, sort of thing. You know, of course, you can add whatever else that your imagination of what I could possibly say, because it's a story after all. And then there's two things that happen. It's a natural reaction. One thing is, if she doesn't say that she has that she don't have a boyfriend, she comes up with another excuse. She will say that she have a boyfriend just to tell me to get away. Okay, because she may not have a boyfriend. She might not be interested in one. And her boyfriends might be, of course, there's going to be blue pill betas everywhere. So she's never single. But she's only saying that out of a natural reaction as a rejection. Listen, as a rejection. And then when all said and done, I'm feeling like a little bitty frog who never been kissed. You know, I'm feeling small, trying to slither out of the store, being rejected. You know, thinking to myself, dang, I couldn't offer the meat. So leave out, right? I'm not saying me specifically. I'm just, you know, being funny on that one because that's not a part of the subject or the story here. But still, you know, I walk out, I'm gone, do my own thing. She gets in the car and her girlfriend's sitting in the car with her. Meets her in the car. And she puts her grocery in and be like, guess what? I'm like, what? Another jerk approached me and tried to get my number. It's just so weird. It's just so awkward. Why would he approach me like that? It's kind of strange. I mean, it's like, you look kind of, you know, I'm just getting tired of that. You know, it's just like irritating. Like, ugh, he's just like out of his mind. Why would he do that? And so you've been thinking to yourself, well, that's a typical natural reaction. Okay, you think that, okay, you know, most girls do that. You know, you get in the car, your sister may say that. This guy tried to talk to me. This person tried to talk to me. There are two things that are happening in there because I just told you about the first one when she's claiming that she has a boyfriend and she's not because she's reacting to reject. Second thing is getting in the car and trying to reject him further by confirming to herself that she did the right thing by rejecting him. But the underlying factor of it is what has been happening the entire time between me approaching her and her going to the car that hasn't been seen. And it is called the expectation. The expectation. Where we are today is where your daddy or your mom, they'll tell the children something. I'm talking about the little girls. Over a certain time, when the child start hitting puberty and growing up, you know, that she start understanding things. And especially the dad trying to say, you know, men want one thing. Men only want to donkey dunk. That's what they will say. In so many words is, don't trust these men. They just want to donkey dunk, especially the mothers. The mothers will grill it home even further than men. Blue pill men, that is. I know some of you y'all may be kind of red pill, a little bit purple pill, but I need to help you out with this. And to help you out. Okay. I don't have no authority here, but since you are in the academy and I'm your professor, I do. Stop doing that BS. Stop telling her that. I'm going to tell you why. Okay. Just bear with me. Bear with me. In her mind, on a general basis already, she's already being chased down by blue pill morons. You know, by high school, well, somewhat scantily in middle school, then high school start ramping up, then, you know, college, I would expect to put it that way, even though sometimes it can be a gruesome story. That's what men want. That's their direction. That's a man's quality, you know, is what she has to offer in her donkey dunk and how well she can do that, how packed she can do that, how visually, and here we go, cosmetically tailored she is to provide the donkey dunk. And sometimes a lot of men try to put those together. They'll say because she looks good, she can donkey dunk quite well. When, as a matter of fact, she's just eye candy. She only looks good. That doesn't mean she can donkey dunk well. And doesn't mean that her stuff don't smell like crawdads and tuna fish. OK, because you could be you can be surprised. OK, and then you'd be like, OK, no, I don't think so. I should not have opened up the can. OK, but the problem is the miscommunication between her and the man. It's never, listen carefully, shut your mouth. You're in the back of the room. Listen, you better put that paper airplane down, or this chalk is going to be flying in the back room and you ain't even going to see it coming. You're going to see stars. Shut your mouth and listen to Morpheus. Now, higher, or I would say around 89% of the interaction, her mind goes directly to the protocol that's been programmed to her by sweet little old daddy, okay, and backwards mom, that this dude who is approaching me, whether it may be in a store, maybe it be a school, maybe it be a library, he wants to donkey dunk with me. And the other half of that, which now we're getting to that point, is he wants to hurt me. A lot of women are like that. You'll be surprised. I mean, oh, no, this creep. Oh, this guy, he's just a stranger. I don't know what he's going to be. You about Morpheus, you lying. No, because check this out. I went out to a dinner one day, and I had a dinner. Actually, it wasn't a dinner date, but it was a dinner groupie or something like that. And a mother appeared, and she had a younger daughter. Of course, she was of legal age, right? And I was more attracted to the daughter. Of course, the mom, she was, way over the hill. I'm like, no, I don't think so. No, I want my car brand new, not used up. Okay. So I made it absolutely clear. Okay. Like, no, I'm not interested in you. She tried. I'm like, no. I mean, woman, you had your turn. Where's your man at? Oh, yeah, get away. Shoo. Like, shoo. Your opportunity's done. Let the other women have the chance to live their life. Anyhow, make a long story short, once we got done with the dinner, everything seemed to be okay and fine. Everything's good. And I heard from one of the friends that was at the table, she was talking to the mom, and she knew that there was some chemistry between me and her daughter. Okay. And but something that the daughter said wasn't too much her fault, but it was what her mom put in her head over the years. Because I'm such a I'll just go ahead and say it. She told the mom that she was nervous because she think that I would be able to strangle her. She was scared because she thought that I look like someone who can actually hurt her. Okay, because of how big I am and because how strong I am and, muscles popping all over the place. So she was at fear than her thinking about me as a protector, as a provider, as a masculine male that can actually, listen, even benefit her and her mom. The stupid things that women do, it just makes me laugh. It's beyond my cognitive mind. I can't fathom how dumb you can be when you are single. You don't have a man in your life, right? You got the mom, you got the daughter. If I was I'll be thinking, this guy can help me. This guy can prevent. I'd be like, listen, I need you to be, if there's a problem, I'm going to call him. Okay. Or but not only do they think that we are all about one thing, now they're thinking that we want to hurt them at the same time. So these women don't know a real man when they see one. They don't comprehend because the programming, because of what mommy and daddy is doing into their head. And so that instead of y'all sitting up and saying, well, he's here because he's looking for a woman with virtue. He's looking for a woman who can speak to him, a woman who's logical, a woman who knows how to have a good conversation, a woman who's talented, a woman who can ride or die with him, a woman who knows how to focus on reality with him, a woman who's open-minded, a woman who's spiritual, whatever the case may be. Y'all be the first donkey hee-haw the thing. Oh, all he want to do is to donkey dunk with you, and you destroy the entire game. You destroy the life of some other dude, and you destroy her life as soon as the first thing come out of your mouth is all you want to do is donkey dunk with you. And you destroy her having the opportunity of finding, and not only finding that one guy, she really don't have to find him, but adjusting her lens, okay, to realize that she has to come to the table, then her donkey dunk. You listen, do you know how many women I deal with on occasion that this is usually the first thing they think is they say, I'm exhausted. I just want to focus on myself, because all men want to do is have one thing. Okay, now you say, okay, Morpheus, you're contradicting. Well, this is how I twist my story up. Follow me. Follow me. Blue pill, biscuit, busted, backwards, buck tooth, big eyed, focal glasses, ignorant retards are the ones who are sitting here chasing on a constant basis. Okay, talking about, oh, baby, you look good. Oh, all the cold approaching, like I was talking about in the store. You know, all that old dumb stuff that exhausts her. That exhausts her to where she's like, you know, they're always trying to do. They're always talking about my fat, you know. And so you get daddy and mommy to say the same thing. She's completely blindsided and blocked, because blue pill, mommy and daddy are all teamed up to lie to this woman and say, basically, that's all that men want. Drop it like it's hot pancakes and they will be there. You are a messed up, tree bent, retard, ignorant, flappy, happy, cappy looking sappy, okay, to think that that is 100% accurate. Because what ends up happening is, now that she think in her mind that that's what men are all about, when red pill come along, when a real dude is there saying, you know, baby, let's go out to eat. You know what she's thinking? She's thinking, well, you know, he's going to buy me something to do because he wants something afterwards. Because he's expecting something from me. And that's what women would do. Be like, no, they'd be like, what do you want? I had a woman say the other day, oh, you doing this? Oh, what do you want from me? I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I'm saying, wait a minute. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I know what you men want. You just want one thing. I said, woman, I said, listen, all I want for you to do is not only be you, offer value to the relationship. Donkey dunking, be damned. That's only the benefit at the end of the rainbow. That is insignificant to the relationship. That's like a dollar bill. On the dollar bill, everything else, which is 75 cents on it, right, is more important. The donkey dunk is a 25-cent spin. That's all it is. But you have moron, so-called ungrown up adults who expand that through music, through magazines, through PORN, through blue pill conditioning to think that the 25% is more than it's more valuable. So you get more people going and saying, you know, instead of that song, come and talk to me. I really want to meet you. Can I talk to you? Right? Can we talk for a minute? Girl, I want to know your name. It's nothing like that. Or let me take my time with you. Can we sit down and talk? I want to know what you thinking. Let me spend my time a moment to learn your ways. It's nothing like that. It's always, oh, baby, you know, hey, how you doing? Let's exchange numbers and let's flip flap. All right, let's donkey dunk. Where are you going to be at? Tonight. Okay, 7 o'clock. Okay, we'll be there. We'll donkey dunk. That's it. how else can the girl not get exhausted? I will be exhausted. I will be tired. So, well, let's donkey dunk. I'm like, wait a minute. What's going on here? And then what happens is she began to believe, here we go. That's your language, not mine. She begins to believe that there is no quality man. Then she began to expect when we are trying to interact with them, when we're saying, baby, I need you to bring value. Baby, I need you to bring value. You know what she'll do? She'll go get the tightest, the tightest pants, the thickest makeup on. Okay. The dumbest words to say during a dating. Okay. To, try to convince him that she's of quality, even though she really isn't of quality, because she is thinking the only shallow water thing that men want is just a donkey nose. So she will not apply herself. And she can't apply herself because you got too many dumb people speaking in her ear say, all this man want to do is, take you to the bedroom and be done with you. He don't put you on the side of the curve, baby. That's the dad. Baby, you better watch out for these men because that's all they want to do. You better watch out for these men. If he asks you better watch out for these men. I'm saying, you Ewok looking reject. How are you going to sit up here and tell a girl like that when your task as a parent, your task as a leader, your task, even a friend or another friend of you, is to say, you know what? Yeah, that's part of it. It's a benefit. But what a person or what the man is looking for, again, is the value that you can bring in the relationship, not the bedroom. That's going to be at the latter end. That's the benefit at the end of the rainbow. But you got to make the travel first. You go from one destination to the next. You got to worry about the road that you are on. Don't worry about just the destination that you're getting ready to head to eventually. It's about the road before you get to. The reason why relationships lasted in the past, a lot of people have this question. The reason why people have lasted is because they looked at the road. They wasn't concerned about the benefit at the end of it all. They knew they wasn't going to be there anyway. You are an adult. How could you not? How could you not realize that? Are you that retarded? You're going to boy meets girl. Eventually something's going to happen. You want to put that on the chalkboard? Go ahead. Let's put it on the chalkboard. A plus B plus C plus D. Okay, you want to do that? Okay. Would that help you to understand what I'm saying? Okay, obviously that's going to happen, but that's not the first destination. You're not going to immediately warp there. So what they did was they realized, okay, I'm an adult. He's an adult. We are going to mingle eventually. But before we do that, let's go down the path first of getting to know each other. Let me hear him out. Let me see what he's all about. Let me hear what she's all about. Let me see what he's talking about. Okay. If this guy's approaching me, okay, he wants to get to know me, right? Which is the only sensible, true reality. He wants to get to know me. He wants to know my name. He wants to know where I was born. He wants to know this and that. He wants to know my future. Maybe he wants to have a long-term relationship. Whatever it is, that's what he wants. Okay, that's what they should be thinking. And therefore, instead of just lying and saying, no, I got a boyfriend so she can reject you. Or, yeah, I'm going to put you in the friend list so she can feel good about herself and get attention while she's sitting on Instagram, showing everything. Okay. She will soon begin to realize once the environment or, soft pill daddy wake up and say, okay, well, we need to actually bring value into the relationship, value into, the family idea again by telling them the facts. Okay. And the facts will be this again, telling her and being real with her to say, that's not what it's all about. And not all men are interested in donkey dunking with you like that. That's not the first stage. It's not the first stage. That's the last stage. That's the benefit at the end of the day. That's why donkey dunking was considered as a sacredcy. It was a sacred union. And that's why so many years ago, when men consummated like that with women, they felt like they won the lottery because it was a valuable thing as into a function or an activity but it was something that was saved for somebody who is special, someone who earned it, someone who took their time with you, someone who built up repertoire for you. See, this is how I operate as Morpheus. And you'll be surprised, but this is how I operate. The more I get a chance to know the girl and she has quality, she has virtue to offer. She's a ride or die chick. Okay. And she's able to have talent. She has talent. She is providing things in my house. The more the end of the rainbow is going to prosper because now it's going to be invested in. So when the activity come and she's panting and putting the pretzel, okay, it will be more than just the body, more than just the body. It's her mind and her spirit that's being appreciated. So therefore, there will be longevity. And at the same time, it will be known value that I can see being implemented in my own life. So therefore, now we have something that's stable. So now instead of looking at her from the exterior point of view, she is looked at from her internals. But she will not even allow herself to get to that point. If we have a society now where everybody's saying, well, it's all about the donkey dunk. Just because you have a hand few, which is plenty of them, I won't say hand few, plenty of blue pill birds who are born to be retarded, who jumped out the nest too soon because daddy wasn't there, or daddy was a blue pill himself, to go around and harp at women and go around and try to promote that that's the way to go. Just go ahead and donkey dunk and be done with it. You just be done with it. Okay, we need to understand what we are creating. So just because they're doing that, that doesn't mean that you need to help them to create a society based on blue pill conditioning. You still should be the one to be like, well, yeah, baby, I understand, honey, that, a lot of men that come to you, they have that on their mind, but, that's not generally what it is. They may have that on their mind, but they really need a little bit more than that, baby. Yes, they, don't concern yourself. Y'all don't do it anyway. The moron dads, y'all don't do that. Y'all just stick with the donkey dunk and that's it. But you should be saying, well, don't focus just on that. No, that's not generally why they're approaching you. They're approaching you because they're looking for something that's going to stick. They're looking for value. But when you have the blue pill conditioning and you got people saying, no, they want donkey dunk. Don't trust them. All men think about is that, every 5 seconds he's going to think about them. All he knows how to do is go around and impregnate and leave. When you say that, guess what the girl's going to do? That's exactly what she's going to be thinking. Like, oh, that's what he wants. Okay. And what is she going to be doing all the time? Doing everything she can to lie to you, keep her legs crossed, and she's going to use it as power. She's going to use it as power. And here is your kicker. Here it is. Here's the bell that rings when you walk into the door. Go ding, 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 ding. Here it is. Okay. If you want more evidence, women do use their donkey dunk as power. They use it as leverage, and they use that to control men eventually. Okay. And how they do this is by thinking that that's going to be the man's desire, that's everything that the man has to offer, that is what men will ride or men would jump over the cliff for. OK, but nowadays today, men are wising up because men aren't. Yeah, we want donkey dunking. No, what men would not want to be with a woman? OK, that is an essential basic nature and instinct that's not going to go away. But we are wising up to the point to where we know about what we want beyond that. Well, we're not just distracted about how good you look and what type of donkey dunk potential you have. We are focused on the virtue that's being brought into our homes. We're concentrating on how much of a good mother you're going to be for our kids. What can you do to be, more stable, more virtuous? What type of gray days do you have in your past? Are you going to be bringing chaos into the marriage or chaos into the relationship? Okay, now let's go even further. The fact is, here we go. Now, this is going to hurt somebody's heart, but you know what? This is truth. I can't, this is just reality. Don't get mad at Morpheus. Look at yourself in the mirror. Like Michael Jackson said, look at yourself in the mirror. I'm not in a relationship, so I can talk like this. I speak to people I'm around them. I teach them. I can talk like this. I ain't got no ties to anybody. Unlike some of you who are in a relationship. That's why you don't want to believe until it happens to you. This is why nobody can get along anymore, because they don't have any value to offer men. They're not trying to offer because they don't have it as well. Yes, it's still the daddy's fault. It's still the mommy's fault. It's still your blue pill conditioning saying that's all that men want. That actually makes them focus on just that. And they're scared of that. And they're thinking when they see a real alpha red pill man around, they're scared, thinking that we're going to hurt them, and we're not. Which I was laughing when the mom said that. She said she's scared that you was going to strangle her. I'm like, what? What? Wow. Okay. That was mind blowing. So their mind is off, like just completely, just ignorantly stupid. It's just beyond see, I can't find the words. I can't find the words. It's not even human to think like that. Now, how stupid can you be when you're stupid when you don't read the book? When you judge something based on how it looks and you don't try to figure it out, you are beyond being a moron. You can't be saved. You can't be saved. This is what I'm talking about with rumors and gossip. If you don't know the person, you don't know what you're dealing with, and you sit there and you judge it, you know what? Just don't be here. Just go. Leave us alone. Just find another planet and fly to it. Poison that place. Don't come here to Earth, because we got enough poison as it is. We got enough dumb morons to serve us over several other decades to come. Before the Earth explode with even more morons that are here. Okay, just stop the nonsense. And we get that way because we aren't trying to raise the bar. It's easy. It's easy to say, well, okay, he's all he wants to do is donkey dunk. Okay, I don't have to make myself better for anything else then. My body, my choice. I don't care. I'll ruin my life and everybody else's. It don't matter to me type of idea. But when you raise the bar, it takes integrity. It takes virtue. It takes a real red pill dad to say, okay, baby, I gotta be honest with you. Yes, I don't like the thought, but there's some men that's gonna want to get at you because, yeah, you're beautiful and they're gonna want to donkey dunk. But don't be deceived, because they actually want a good woman as well. They need you to be diligent. They need you to be virtuous. They need you to be able to bring value in their life, baby. So if men approach you, it's not just because they want to be with you that way. They actually want to be with you by your mind and your spirit as well. So, baby, if you bring them quality, with your quality mind, put a lot of your emotions aside and think a little logical, have a little reasoning, you're able to peer bond, you can be a companion for them, then maybe your relationship will stick. And here we go. Here we go. Here we go. The reason why your relationship is failing, baby, the reason why men keep coming and going, baby, the reason why you're not succeeding in your future, baby, the reason why you have 2 kids and no father around, sweetheart, the reason why you are struggling is because you're thinking with your wrong head. Even though you don't have a head like the man has a head, you're still not bringing any value in a relationship because you're thinking it's all about the donkey dunk, and you're using that as an advantage for you and a disadvantage for him. But in the end, you are losing, baby. You are losing. If you bring value in a relationship, and if you have value in yourself, you can detect those who don't have value and you will stay away from them. So it's not about not knowing who's there to donkey dunk with you or not. You will automatically know because you have virtue and value yourself. Do y'all get what I'm saying? You see, sometimes you recognize a thing because it's you yourself. Like some women don't trust other women because they don't trust themselves. Some people, some criminals don't trust other criminals because they're already a criminal. So they don't trust their own kind because they know their own kind. So if you are living a virtuous life, if you're living a decent life, if you have a good, decent mindset and you have a quality future and you know who you are, when you meet that man, you're going to know what he's all about immediately after a few minutes, because you're going to give him an opportunity. You're going to listen. You're going to ride with him, and you'll see the measure. But as soon as you say, oh, the book looks ugly, the book is brown, the book is purple, I'm not going to do it because the book is strange, you are a living moron. You're a living moron. You know, you are out of your mind. Somebody told me a long time ago that they said, you know, swapping culture is not they said it's a strange thing and I'm uncomfortable about it. You know, you should stick with your own kind, your own culture. I'm like, okay, yeah, if it works out for you, if that's what you want to do and it's well for you, that's fine. But for Morpheus, I'm going to go for what's best for me. I'm not going to look at the book and say, oh, she's a white girl. Oh, absolutely not. You know, I'm not. No. Oh, she's Asian. No, I'm not interested in that. No chopsticks for me. Well, oh, she's a black girl. No, no, I can't do it. That's stupid. That would be, that's looking at the color of the book and I'm not reading it. I'm not reading it. So I'll be just as guilty. So it's not about that person. It's not about their culture or their color. It's about her as an individual. What is she bringing to the table? What is she doing for me? If I feel like a man and I am uplifted and I am gifted because of her and she's bringing value in my life, that's what matters. Color be damned. It don't matter what type of color she is. She can be black, blue, purple, and orange. If I am feeling the best that I can ever feel, I'm getting something that's an addition to my life, then I can move forward. What kind of moron would I be to sit back and say, well, I want her to be only a certain color and a certain culture, and I'm stuck in a rutted valley. And listen, how am I? It's like, okay, let's say, for example, and this happens for some people, and it may not be for everybody, but check this out. I know some people in their own culture isn't getting love from their own people. They're not even getting love from their own women. Their own women of their same color, their same culture, their same history isn't giving them any love. And they're stuck. They're all by themselves. They're not suffering. They just don't have companionship like everybody else do. They're not uplifted. They're not uplifted. But yet other cultures or other women are able to come along and actually put them in a better place, in a different position. So what ended up happening is he decided to accept a different cultural woman because that cultural woman was cooking for him. I mean, she was doing all kind of wonderful stuff, made me jealous. OK, she brought value in his life. She made him better than what he was, even though he was at his best. See, it's almost like you a team member. You can fight a war all by yourself, but you may not survive. You know, you may go through some times. But when you have a team that's you got an equal goal, now you're getting somewhere. You got a friend by your side. And she was that friend. And as soon as he did that, his very own culture tried to come and degrade him and talk about him and berate him. Oh, white, what are you doing with that girl? You should stick with your culture. You know, I ain't going to accept you, blah, 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 blah. You know, how are you going to sit up here and jump? I said, wait a minute. Hold on. I got in contact with him, with the people who tried to assault him. I said, wait a minute. I said, slow down. I said, okay, so you mad. You're mad because he's with a different culture now that's doing well for him, taking care of him, loving him, he's feeling like, you know, Superman because of, you know, her. But yet I asked this person this, I said, what are you doing for him? I said, what did his own culture do for him? Absolutely nothing. I said, if he waited for that one unicorn out of his own culture to come and help him or to be that virtuous woman, he will be he'll be done for by now. You know, he probably just grow old alone, you know, all, you know, Pornhub, whatever else, you know, it just really not a good life. Okay, so you will have people who will tell you, yo, just stick with your culture. You know, we are all in this crap bucket. Just stay in this very, very, very low valley and be happy to be there and die there. That's what they're basically saying. When your salvation, your success, your life, your empowerment, and do you realize that your life will come differently than what other people are telling you what is going to come and how it's going to come and what color it's going to come in. It's going to come in a different package than what you expected it to come in. You want the package to come down looking like some prime rose. It may come down looking like a pack of broccoli, but that pack of broccoli will be A lot more beneficial and successful than any other thing that you ever had, because it's the thing that's just for you. It's tailored just for you. There is other cultures, even if you are one culture, there is other cultural differences that can be tailored just for you based on the female herself, the individual. It's based on the individual, not based on the color of her skin. It's her personality, it's her energy, and it's her experience that can put him on the platform what he is trying to reach. So the name of that game is, here we go. The name of this entire audio is this: if you judge a book by the context, the color of the outside, what it looks like, you are a dumb fool. You're a dumb fool. And we are making fools out of ourselves by saying that's all he wants is just the donkey dunk. It's no different. It's no different. You got to look at the man for who he is and listen to what he is saying to understand. It's a different story when you spend time with a guy and all he's trying to do is jump on you. That's a different story, because it happens sometimes. Maybe he's just, he find you attractive, you look good, and, he just can't help himself. That happens. Some guys can't control themselves. OK, that doesn't mean every guy is like that. That doesn't mean that that's going to be the complete directives and protocols between man and woman. Men are looking for quality. They're looking for women who have an idea of a future in mind, not the moment. We're not looking for morons and feminists. We're looking for feminine, soft, compliable partners and companions that can be a successful team to open up a brighter future. If that's hard for you to understand, get the hell out of my classroom. Get the hell out of my academy. Stop wasting my time. This is the academy of wow, man. So in this condition, it's like, wow, man. Because it is happening, and you'll be surprised. It wasn't long ago where the mother said that, or you say the daughter said that, and it was based on the mom's lifestyle. And you want to know something else about the mom? Not only was that her only child, she had another child that was younger than the daughter that she had. Of course, that child wasn't legal. That child was like 8, 9 years old. No father around. And I'm thinking, that's why she's scared of alpha men, because there's no alpha men around. There's no red pill around. There's no men around her life, basically. You don't have to be red pill or alpha, but just no men around. So I come into the picture that she's not used to, all big and buff, tall, and she's looking up like, I don't know about this, mom, because she's in a girl circle. So a lot of women, they don't understand the damages they do to their own child with something as insignificant as that, because we're so self-written and so moronic. So we go with the program. We just listen to what anybody tell us. And our parents are the worst. Parents are the worst, because your idea is, well, I want to protect my daughter. I just want to protect her. No, you're hurting her, and you're being stupid at the same time, fool. You're being stupid. Because what you need to do is tell her, yes, that's an idea. Yes, that's a possibility, but that is not the 75% of it. That's not the purpose of the relationship. That's not why he's in your face. He's in your face because you need to learn his measure first. Don't read the outside of the book and say, well, I don't like the title, so I'm going to throw the book on the shelf because it has a different signature on it. Open up the book, idiot, and read it first, and then you'll see what it's all about. Don't let somebody tell you, even your moronic mom tell you, that that's what it's all about, donkey dung, because it's not. You can fool yourself. And then what it ends up happening is you'll find yourself with child after child after child and no father figure. And it goes that far because all you doing is trying to use it as an advantage and a disadvantage for him and as a weapon. And now you stick yourself instead of thinking, well, it's my fault. Maybe I need to bring value into the relationship. Well, no, duh, Sherlock. When did you figure that out? When did you figure that out? 2 or 3 kids later? And 350 pounds? Wow. What you need to do is get on your phone and dial up the 7 digits of your so-called parent and say, thank you, mom and dad. I appreciate it. You were good geniuses to me. That's what you need to be doing. Don't get mad at just look in the mirror and say, I need to change this and think about this a little bit deeper and tell them thank you for not telling you the facts. And church ain't going to do it. I know what you're getting ready to say. Well, you know, we were Christians. We were Catholics. We were Catholics. So this is what we did on the often. And I thought that our morals was going to help us. I thought talking to the priest and the pastor was going to put us in line. No, morons. You got to know there's nobody who has a greater effect at home than mom and dad. Shut your mouth. There's nobody else on the face of the planet who has more effect on a child's mind than mom and dad. Do I have to repeat myself again? Preachers, teachers, and everybody else outside just support you or to help you in your indoctrinated program mind. If you want a brighter future, think about the stuff that you are saying to your children, because it does go down that far. You know what I do as Morpheus? I talk about the rabbit hole. That's why this discussion is here before you. It's the rabbit hole that we just look straight over. And these girls are suffering for it daily. It's not long. We're not far away from it. We're not far away. It's just a couple of weeks ago. And they're still thinking about that today. You come to a girl now and still be like, oh, that's what you want? I know what you want. I know what you all about. I'll be like, wait a minute. You know what I'm all about and you never met me before? Well, yeah, you men are all the same. I'll be like, okay, you know what? You have a good day. You know, I do have some pills in my pocket that will help you with your thinking. Okay, but I'm not gonna waste my time. Because she's probably on a different type of pills, and her parents are too, when she says some dumb stuff like that. Especially if she didn't sit down at a coffee shop or anywhere on a bench or something like that. Say, okay, what are you talking about? What's up? What's up? But you know what? We're too lazy because we don't want to spend the time and virtue that it takes, or the energy that it takes to get a chance to know each other. Because it's too hard. It's too hard for us to do something that's right. Just like the gossip. It's too hard for us to turn around and say, you know what? Y'all stop talking like that. Stop gossiping. But it's easy to stand there and listen and be like, oh, really? That's what happened? Oh, wow. That's why everything is more negative than it is positive, because you got more negative thinking people. If that does not bring some awareness to you, I don't know what will. This is Leon C, aka Morpheus. You have experienced another lesson here in the Academy of Wildmen. I didn't give you the red pill because I gave it to you in the beginning. I did not forget. I was already on it as soon as I begin talking to you. Like, share, subscribe. You know what to do. Check me out on my Patreon. Get that book, 2020 America Rise or Fall Hard in Complete Ignorance and Distortion of Thought.